The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
Now, let us zoom in a little bit into an initiative which seems to be very human on the one hand and very timely and pragmatic even for Georgia as well on the other. I already mentioned that in Georgia, with DFC's support, Gazelle Finance is taking on additional activities to benefit displaced Ukrainians in Georgia. Natia Janelidze, COO-CIO at Gazelle Finance, will provide further details.
Natia, thank you for your time, and thank you for taking the Checkpoint's questions here. DFC and Gazelle Finance announced an economic recovery facility, and its aim is to provide technical assistance to those SMEs from Ukraine that have decided to relocate their business to Georgia due to this unfortunate events that are unfolding in Russia, in Ukraine, because of Russian aggression. We need some more details in this direction. Please, what this assistance stands for, what are the tools that you have for supporting the Ukrainian SMEs in Georgia?
Thank you, Elena. Yes, Gazelle Finance and the CEO of DFC, who is visiting Georgia these days, Scott Nathan, signed the agreement yesterday that is intended to help the companies that are displaced from Ukraine to Georgia. This is the technical assistance facility of $2.5 million US. DFC contributed $1.5 million US, while the other $1 million was supported by Dutch IFIs, FMO, and DGGF. This facility covers several products. It includes grant component, zero interest loan, and commercial investment amount. And I will give you the simple examples how the companies can benefit from this facility.
Yes, please. Let's go through each component step by step so that our viewers and followers have the sense of what this support really stands for in a nutshell.
Yes, I mean, when in the new environment for the company, there are lots of things that they need to know, starting from legal framework, accounting and taxing policies, registration issues, access to finance. So grant component is intended to help those companies in getting this kind of advice from different providers, whether this is a legal company or an accounting company or a consulting company. Or the second component is the technical zero interest loan that can be used for covering operating expenses of the company, including the salaries temporarily for the staff. And the third one is the commercial capital investment amount that can be used by the company to expand its operations. This is slightly a bigger amount that cannot be covered either by grant component or zero interest loan. There is no minimum and maximum. All depends on the needs of the company and how it fits in this scheme. I should also mention that we are sector agnostic, meaning we are open for all the companies operating in each and every sector.
Are there some dominating sectors, Natia, that you see where, for example, Georgia draws more Ukrainian SMEs?
Absolutely, absolutely. Unfortunately, it's not for every company is it an easy possibility to relocate from one country to another. The practice showed that these are mainly the companies from IT or ICT sector or fintech companies. But as mentioned, a few Ukrainian companies already had some representation in Georgia. So this facility is intended mainly for the Ukrainian companies that have any kind of content related to Ukraine. This could be the relocation after the war or expansion intention for Georgian entity, as the business cannot be expanded in Ukraine. This is pretty much it. I just want to give one more explanation.
Yes.
I want
Who are these companies and the support that you together with DFC are providing? These should be Ukrainian SMEs that are already based in Georgia, right? You are not creating any motivation for Ukrainian companies to come here, so to say, right?
Yes, I mean, this completely excludes brain draining from Ukraine. These are the companies that are already displaced from Ukraine to Georgia, or are in the process of displacing in Georgia, or already had their representation in Georgia even before the war started. So we exclude brain draining. We don't want that, but unfortunately, few companies are not able to continue their operations in Ukraine because of the war, and this facility only intends to support them, to support their country's economy. Alongside, we are supporting the Georgian economy as well, because they will be
and let
placed
us
in Georgia.
elaborate a little bit on that also. Natia, I clearly understand what is the, so to say, corporate responsibility part of all of this, and I think it is our duty, and we should thank Gazelle Finance and DFC in this regard, definitely, to support Ukraine as it is by every means that we can in this very unjust war, of course. But what are some benefits in all of this for Georgia, even if we consider that after the war ends and Ukraine wins, these companies might decide to return back to their country?
Yes, I mean, I should start with knowledge sharing. IT and ICT sectors are very well developed in Ukraine. So by providing assistance to these companies in Georgia, we are helping Georgian IT and ICT sector to adopt these knowledges and know-hows from the Ukrainian companies. Direct or indirect contribution is also to support Georgian economy, because these companies, I'm sure, because Georgia is a good place for doing business, I'm sure they will be willing to remain at least some portion of their business in Georgia once the war is finished. Plus, of course, if they are able to do so, they will shift their employees from Ukraine, but there is a possibility that there will be additional employment opportunities for Georgia and those companies as well. It definitely has humanitarian component in it, just to support the country and the companies that are in need during these difficult times. And with the support of our investors, DFC, FM, or DGGF, this possibility, this idea was very well supported in a very efficient way from their side, without bureaucracy. And we are in the final stage of executing this project. We are preparing the platform on Gazelle Finance website that should be operational soon. That should be very helpful tool for the companies and for the individuals that are displaced in Georgia to get the information about pretty much everything, whether it's the state entities, how the registration of the company should be done, the consulting companies, legal companies, contact information, everything, plus everything that the new person might need in a completely new environment, whether it's information about schools, colleges, and etc. That could be the reason. And on top of that, we know that males are not allowed to leave Ukraine because of the war. So partially it's also helping women entrepreneurs, displaced women entrepreneurs. So we anticipate that most of the entrepreneurs that are coming to Georgia are women because of this allowance of leaving the country. So another big component for that is to support Ukrainian women entrepreneurs to continue their businesses in Georgia as they choose it to be a safe and good destination for their businesses.
Thank you, Natia, for these details, very interesting ones. I wish DFC and Gazelle Finance very big success in this very good deed that you are doing here. And I encourage all Ukrainian SMEs that are in Georgia to check Gazelle Finance's webpage and look for their platform and use this opportunity that is generously provided for them. Thank you for the interview again.
Thank you, Elena. The site is not operational. I mean, the new platform is not operational yet, but they can contact us anytime. It will be operational soon, but it does not, there is no barrier to contact Gazelle Finance right now in case there is a need of what we discussed today. So we are accepting all the calls and offers from Ukrainian companies already. Thank you very much.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.